Hey everyone, this is Theo Goodman again, and I'm back with Sean from Optitoken. What's going on, Sean?
Hey, what's up? Not much. Good to see you,
All
man.
right, all right, all right. Let's talk about Optitoken. What
Okay.
is this thing? So on the website, there's a lot of talk about this thing called strategic scarcity, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. So what I understand is basically it is a cryptocurrency, but it is a token on top of Ethereum. So there's no mining or anything. And the system is set up to support the price via trading algorithms that help produce buy pressure. Is that a good summary?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely one way to kind of summarize a good amount of it, I would say.
Okay, so tell us about this strategic scarcity. When you guys talk about strategic scarcity, what do you mean by that?
Sure. So, I mean, what's really cool about cryptocurrencies is, and I think something that's under talked about is that they do have a supply, and supply affects a lot of things. I mean, like look at traditional currencies and look at their supplies, the way that they're oftentimes manipulated on purpose to maybe do things for an economy or what have you. Oftentimes the dollars, they'll print more in times of, maybe an economic downturn to try to, you know, get more into the economy, et cetera.
Sure.
Get
Or
things,
adjust interest
rolling
rates,
again.
maybe, right? They might
Yeah,
adjust the
sure.
interest rate, or they might even go
Mhm.
European style and go negative interest rates.
Right. Yeah, and that will probably happen more and more. Um, and it doesn't have to. We don't have to use currencies to paint a picture of it. We can look at things like the supply of diamonds in the world, which there's a lot of. Well, I don't know if there's a lot of current talk about it, but you can look stuff like this one line and how the supply. I don't know exactly currently how it works, but the De Beers company and like many other like of the high ups will oftentimes control the supply to create scarcity. You can look at stuff like Rockefeller and Standard Oil. Um, Scarcity or some control of supply is a really powerful tool when you have something like commodity or currency, and you can use it to affect supply and demand in a sense, basically. So that being said, I just we feel that a lot of tokens, coins, whatever currencies, cryptocurrencies, don't really, it's like not really talked about. It's not really thought about. It's not used as much. It's I don't think it's really ever used positively. I can think of some coins where supply is going to change greatly eventually over time, but no, none of them for the better.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
How
Well,
about Ripple? Yeah, go ahead.
let
Go
me
ahead.
just interject. Let me just interject real quick.
Sure.
I get what you mean, but I think that there. I mean, there's definitely talk of supply. Everyone talks about Bitcoin supply. The halving was a big deal recently. People know that there's going to be less and less Bitcoin produced every 10 minutes. So in that sense, they definitely talk about supply in that sense. Now, it doesn't necessarily affect the demand on the market immediately, which I think is more of what you're talking about. But I think people do have that in mind somewhat. So everyone knows about block reward. There's some
Sorry.
systems. Yeah, you got me?
Repeat that last part, will you?
Yes. Everyone knows about block rewards. And
Okay.
there even are some systems like Doge that Doge is not deflationary. They just will keep producing blocks forever.
Oh,
So
that's
there
nice of
is,
them.
yeah, right. They had a block reward that was cut in half, and then at some point it stopped, and now it's a flat block reward. I don't remember how much it is, but it's just going to keep on going forever. But that's their concept. You know what I mean? That's their supply concept. It's actually inflationary. Wow,
Yeah.
inflationary, right? So you want to do a totally different system with Optitoken where they're more like in the traditional currency markets where there's an attempt to but you want to affect the price in a positive way of
Yeah.
the Optitoken.
Yeah, and let me touch on both the coins you mentioned as well, because we could talk about block halving and this and that, but that's all really like short term, temporary stuff. Because
Mhm.
once all those coins are once all the bitcoins are mined and found, distributed, etc., in a sense distributed, um, then that's done. You know, and then now the good thing about it is at least it's going to have a stable supply, and so as more people come in, it's like it's not an egregious amount of coins by any means. In fact, it's pretty small, and so that will have a lot of upward pressure on the price. Basically, there's only 21 million coins. You don't have one, you probably should have had one, or you should have got one. Some whatever. As far as Doge, yeah, I mean, why their community is into that, I couldn't tell you. I mean, it sounds nice for miners, but not for adopters of the cryptocurrency.
Well, there's different theories to it. So there are some people have the theory that for currency you need to have actually inflationary currency for there to be enough supply so people actually use it. And if it's too deflationary, then people will just hold it and they won't use it for anything. So there's the two basic thoughts. That's pretty general speaking how I painted it, but I think you'll come across
Yeah.
both schools of thought.
Well, that touches on the mass propensity to spend or the mass propensity to save. And here's the thing too to think about is so yeah, people spend people save when it's it's rewarding to do so. But there's also a threshold that when this person has a certain amount of holdings, they become comfortable again with spending some of that, right? So when Theo Goodman has X amount of dollars in his bank account, he might be like, all right, I have just enough for this month's budget, or I have a little bit over, I can do this or that. When Theo Goodman has, X amount times 10, then, kind of there's a portion that's like, hey, you know what, like I can go out and do more, you slowly start to realize that you can spend more, you can do more, and your amount that you're spending actually increases. And so your mass propensity to spend and to consume increases, as opposed to the mass propensity to save increasing. So that you see, it's not a linear thing that just continue. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
There's diminishing returns to that, but for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, how does that connect to Optitoken, this whole thing? So you want to do it. You think that we did talk. So we talked about a real basic example back from 2014. It was kind of a basic example of black coin. So black coin and other coins started to do it. I don't know any that are doing it now. Maybe it's played out. Maybe nobody's interested. But they had.
Do me a favor, Theo. I apologize. Can you repeat that last part?
Yeah. In 2014, Blackcoin had a mining pool, but they didn't have any mining. What they did is
Who was this?
Blackcoin.
You were cutting in and out. Sure. Okay.
Blackcoin.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. In 2014, Blackcoin had a mining pool, and what they did is that when you sent mining power there, they used the what you would earn in mining. Instead of earning in mining, what they would do is they would use it to buy Blackcoin on the open market with, and that made buy pressure.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a real, it's not exactly what you want to do, but when you talked about it, that's one of the first examples that I thought of that reminded
Sure.
me of that concept. So
It's a
just
really
tell
nice
us,
concept, and yeah, I
right.
mean, it's
So right here, so what I want to say is that, so on the one hand, so like here on the website, you've got this portfolio of coins that are being traded in the Optitoken portfolio, but the people, so there's the Optitoken itself, the people that have the token, they're not it's not a fund, it's not an index fund. They're not trading they're not connecting API keys or trading or anything like that.
yeah.
So what is this portfolio and what does that have to do with Optitoken?
Okay, so in order for Optitoken and the project to be able to go on our exchanges we're listed on and to add buy pressure, and then to then destroy those tokens, create the scarcity, we first have to have operations of some sort. And for us and our team, what we're best at is trading. We happen to have an algorithm that works very well, a formula for trading, swing trading that works very well. And, basically profits are needed for this operation. I mean, we could turn it into, we're going to go mow lawns in the neighborhood project, and then we're going to take that money and use it for buy pressure. But, I don't think we're not going to do that anytime soon. So, we have to have profit somehow is the point. And what's nice about this is we have a very clear path to profitability. It's a proven track record. There's a live test portfolio right now that shows the formula is profitable. And yeah, I mean, that it's very profitable. And so, and I know so as well, that a lot of people are making a lot of money trading cryptocurrencies. It's no secret. And so, we're taking our formula and that's gonna be basically the main operations that the company does. It's just what we do with those profits afterwards that's different. Think of it also like this, like a bank needs to make money, right? They take money and they make money. They do it in a little bit of what they call a safer route. I don't know if you can deem it safer anymore, but they lend for interest. So they do interest-based operations. What we're doing is cryptocurrency-based trading-based operations.
Okay, great. So what are you going to do differently with the profits?
What we're going to do differently is we're going to take it and we're going to use it to support the Optitoken cryptocurrency price. So, and like we touched on earlier, instead of like we have a theory that, increasing the mass propensity to save, rewarding people for using cryptocurrency instead of saying, hey, we're going to make your money worth less and less because then you start working and then, you won't be saving too much. That's to me is that's silly. I don't think that, in fact, there's a lot of people who would argue against something like the Phillips curve. So basically, that's what we're doing. We're arguing against that, and we're saying if we make people's currency more worth more valuable, then over time, eventually they'll be able to spend more. So yeah, we're taking these profits we create, and we're infusing them into the market. And to be completely fair and make sure it goes to the cryptocurrency, once we have those profits, and you can think of that like a stock buyback in a way, except it's not a stock, it's not an equity, it's a cryptocurrency. And we're not taking, when a company does that, they take their stock and who knows what they do with it? They just keep it. I mean, what do they do with it?
Okay. All right. That sounds all great. Okay. I just want to jump in real quick. That sounds great, but we're in crypto. So how is, why should we trust your trading thing? And is the project going to be audited, and when can we see all that?
As you can see right there, the roadmap, includes. We'll for sure have a big main annual one, and then I think we'll do something monthly as well. I don't know if it'll be like just more of a kind of, hey, here's all the numbers, blah blah blah. I don't think it's going to be like a huge like report printout sent out or something to like well sent to post on the website perhaps, but it'll be we can do something in the form of using the API and saying, hey, look, here's all the activity we did, here's the profit, expenses, etc. And here's all the tokens we sent to this X address, this black hole address. Those are the coins that were, these are the coins that were bought, and these are the coins. Here they are destroyed. Go and look at the address. Go and look at the Etherscan address. There's more stuff like that.
Okay, let's just get into that real quick. So you're going to destroy. What's going to happen? You talked about destroying some coins. So just give us the basic rundown how that works. So the ICO is going to happen. People are going to buy the ICO. They're going to get tokens. Then what happens after that?
So so we need to raise funds to have an initial portfolio. Right now this is a test portfolio that you're looking at right now. We need to fill that with actual coins and not just test stuff. This is a very small amount of money. It's actually just personal company money, but we need to turn that into a real thing. So basically, we'll have that initial portfolio, and then sorry, wait. Can you rephrase that question?
Yeah, sure. Okay. You talked about burning tokens, destroying tokens.
Okay.
Right. So I want to know what's the path. What happens? So, there's initial distribution after the coin sale, right? So you raise funds.
Token creation.
The tokens are spread out to the token holders. Okay. And then Optitoken, the company, trades according to the algorithm. All right. And then what happens? Give me an example.
Okay, so I'm just going to go through it from like kind of like step A to end. So yes, we have the ICO pre-sale. We're in pre-sale right now, and we have ICO. We need to raise X amount of dollars or more. X amount. We need at least X amount of dollars to have a real like at least very stable and solid starting amount. Then that's going right into trading activities. This is going to that's the stuff I was talking about a little bit ago. The swing trading or algorithm, when we're using a formula trading, when profits are created, a portion of the profits goes right back in to just continue that cycle of trading and creating profits. A smaller portion, 16%, is actually taken and separated. At first, there shouldn't be much of a threshold needed to create sufficient buy pressure on exchange we're listed on. So we could probably immediately take that manually. But we'll make recorded accountings and hey, this amount is made. You can look at this on Bitfinex's API. You can look, here's just, stuff like even screenshots and just as much transparency as needed and as much as is asked for. So we say, wait, we have this amount of profit is going to the exchange we're listed on, which part of the ICO money is devoted to listing us on an exchange to make sure we are at least on one exchange. And then we're taking that and we're literally just going to probably market by Optitoken. And that will add buy pressure and volume. And so then we have Optitoken. What do we do with the Optitoken? The next step is to sort of say, hey, we bought X amount. You can literally look at the transaction on the exchange, whether it's screenshot or some kind of report from the exchange, whatever is needed and necessary, and people want to see this transparent. There's no problem providing that. But so now we have these Optitokens. What do we do with them? So directly from the exchange, we're going to want to send them to a provably unspendable address. And how that's created will be our devs' doings. I mean, it might be something where it's like community based. It's like, hey, like here's an address we're destroying private key, or or maybe there's one. There are some that are in use in like public, and so it might be that we're using one of those, and You know.
Okay. Yeah, sure. They're burn addresses. So there's going to be a publicly a burn address that people can follow that shows that you guys are actually, after you guys bought Optitoken on the open market, you're going to burn them.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
And
so there's going to be only buy pressure from you guys, not sell pressure.
Never sell pressure, no.
Okay, and when do you buy? What is the? I know it has to be a secret, but what kind of threshold is there for when they're bought? When do you decide to buy them?
So yeah, so that's a great question, and so as we go along, there may be different thresholds of what's needed to support the price, or to be effective to the price, right? Because let's say $2,000 worth of buys isn't going to affect, if there's heavy volume in a year or two, or how, whatever, 5 months, I don't know, it's going to maybe the same amount isn't going to move, be supportive to the price so much. It might just kind of be like a flea in the wind. So that's why we're going to have to steadily look at, and see daily volume, weekly volume, hourly volume, and see what would affect the price positively, and what's going to be the best, I guess, kind of game plan for that aspect of the project, which is not hard to compute. It's not hard to figure out. We want basically equal to or above a certain amount. What's the daily volume? What's the hourly volume? We want, and so we want to basically have a threshold that's going to, be greater than that. Now, when we figure that out, what does that mean? Does that mean we just go and buy right away? No, we are going to have to work closely with the talks with legal to see what kind of, what we need to do as far as reporting and transparency on that, because it could be possible that we may need to announce beforehand, a day or two, or or sufficient amount of time, or give notice, basically. And so, but that's really gray right now. There's no rule about that. But at the same time, we want to just go the safe route, kind of be safe with that part of it. And yeah, so, that's still being determined how that will work. But there's a good chance that it might just, we might just have to post it on the website or somewhere. So, I mean, people who are community members and a part of the project will just, be able to go look and say, oh, okay, like they're going to do this for that day, or I don't know, there might be,
okay,
it'll be interesting to see, but I don't think that, as long as we do that, that's the important part, is being transparent and not being, devious with it. Like,
right. So I think that's one of the critical things, and it's okay if you don't have a clear answer right now, I think, but basically you want to be transparent about, you can't be transparent about when you're going to buy on the open market beforehand, because then it won't work. So there's going to be some kind of reporting after that says, hey, we did buy some this month. This is how much we bought.
Yeah,
this order, and we burned this much. Or can people kind of like spectate the burn address, and they'd be like, hey, look, they just bought some because I see it coming in on the burn address? Or how is that going to work?
Well, yeah, but the process of the buying aspect isn't automated yet. Neither will the sending to the, and I don't think that ever will be automated. Like, it doesn't need to be automated. I think that would be overdue, because honestly, it's better to be have a human come and say, hey, okay, there's just no point in automating that.
So that's going to be discretionary.
I guess we could in the future, but that's not where. Yeah,
right.
And so they could look at that for sure. And here's another thing too, is we also, the buy pressure we're going to try to do in as many, the more waves, probably the better. That's one thing too, is just to distribute how that, the more the more smaller waves, probably the better. But at the same time, they need to be effective. So is it going to be 2 or 3 waves? I'm not sure. And what that does too is that kind of, maybe that is something that can be kind of, secretive, because that does is it could, in a sense, deter people trying to prey on that system, where it's like, oh, look, there's there's infusion coming in. Well, okay, now we're going to sell or something. Well, they might just get bought up in the wave 2, or they might,
sure,
have made a bad decision then based on that. So
yeah, of course. So that's why I'm asking, because of course, if people know that you guys are going to buy, then the market is going to try to adjust to that. So that's going to be a game in itself. And it's
but
just a
and
question
what else
of
is interesting? That's kind of
what,
okay
well,
too.
actually,
Like in a way,
well, just
like
to be, well, just to
um,
be, well, just to be critical, I mean, what is going to prevent someone from the team front running the buy action?
well, the only people who are the original, someone has to be the original seller, so that'll be made up of everybody.
Right.
Here's the thing: is we have to be careful to, we don't want to get in trouble for like, like I don't know I don't know if that that'd probably be considered some kind of insider trading stuff or something. So, or it'd be close enough to it to be risky, and no one on the team wants to get in trouble. You know what I mean? We want to make this really cool project, and we are making it, and it's going to, but at the same time, it's not worth like getting in trouble. So, that being said, we will probably have to do something similar to like, I guess you could compare it to something like when like basically disclosing beforehand, like think about like when a CEO of a company buys or sells its stocks, and they have certain requirements they follow. Well, there's really no guidelines for crypto, but we could kind of go based off what is some kind of an international standard for that. And that would probably be the safest route. So, that also being said, team tokens are vested over a year. That also is one thing that's good, because we want to be vested with the project. It's not like we're just getting tokens, then bam, it's over.
Right.
Our tokens are vested via smart contract as well.
So,
Yeah.
the only tokens the team are going to have that they could sell are vested, and the other tokens that are going to be bought in the system are going to be burned.
You mean the only other tokens that could? Oh, you're saying the tokens left over? Yeah, tokens not. Okay.
No, tokens not sold in the ICO are going to be burned too. I mean that when you're the trading system decides to buy the tokens, they're all burned, to the burning address like we discussed.
Yeah, the other 16%.
Right, and then the team gets some tokens, but they're vested. They have a year vesting, so they can't be sold right away. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. I mean, there'd be a fractional amount. But yeah, I mean, I'm in on the project long term. You know what I mean? Like I'm the CEO. I'm long term on it. So, and for the most part, I believe all of our team members are as well. But doesn't we're the vesting thing is another way that that and some kind of disclosure beforehand. I think is probably going to be key there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Well, I think that we've hit a lot of points today. And I want to know, if I want to get in touch with you and talk to you more about this project, what's the best way to do it?
I guess email is always good. info@optitoken.io.
Okay.
Another good platform that me or another team member are basically always available on is our Telegram, and I guess the best way, I mean, you can find it on the website. It's also, the Telegram URL /Optitoken. And yeah, I would say those are some.
Okay, great. So everyone watching, there's a link to the Telegram in the description, and there's also a link to the website where you can find email, Twitter, and so on. There's also Reddit, Facebook on the website too. And if you want to talk to Sean, then yeah, he's pretty much always on Telegram if he's awake. So you can definitely talk to him there. You can also hit up the Bitcoin Talk thread. They're also on Bitcoin Talk. And yeah, definitely put your questions below if you have any questions, and we'll get back to you. And I want to thank you for watching.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure. Ask questions. Ask questions if you think something is weird, good, bad, anything. Always ask questions. Give me a thumbs up.
Live on camera, I'll be like 50% half the time. Like, it's like I'm using like these like yeah. It's just if you have a question,
okay.
there's something that makes ask, and be able to write out a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. And
on YouTube.
Right. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Talk to you next time.